Hey, welcome back, and you are knee-deep into the Wild, whether you like it or not. And I wanted to take some time to talk to you about some ideas and thoughts and things that are coming up in the discussion board. First and foremost, the correlation or connection between Into the Wild and V for Vendetta, and if there is one, and where is it if there is one. I can understand where it might be a little cloudy because it seems very much as if Chris is fearless in most cases, and he is. I mean, he tackles everything that comes in his direction with a really palpable fearlessness. He just throws himself into just about everything except kind of one area, and that's the area that I would like you to really look at in a more deep vein. And many of you had picked up on it in the discussion boards, and it's his relationships, his intimate relationships, or people who try to get close to him, and his response to it. He seems to attract people. People like him. He's a personable guy, and he seems okay with it up to a level. But as soon as they want something back for him or it gets a little too close for comfort, he hightails it out. And you see it over and over again with Jan, with Wayne, with Ron. Anytime someone tries to get a little too close to him, he moves on. Now, it all comes under the guise of his trip to Alaska, and that his, it is his one purpose in his life right now. And so relationships kind of come second. But something a little more concrete that I wanted you to really take a look at happens back in chapter 6, and I know that's a while back in the book, and hopefully all of you are way beyond that point now, right? Yes. But if you go back to chapter 6, it's when Ron Franz receives a letter from Alex, and in the letter, Alex is kind of calling Ron out a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot, about his life and what Ron wants from his life. And I want you to listen to this part of the letter and try to think about what it makes you think of in V for Vendetta. So this is Chris writing to Ron. So many people live within unhappy circumstances and yet will not take the initiative to change their situation because they're conditioned to a life of security, conformity, and conservatism, all of which may appear to give one peace of mind. But in reality, nothing is more damaging to the adventurous spirit within a man than a secure future. The very basic core of a man's living spirit is his passion for adventure. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experiences, and hence, there's no greater joy than to have an endlessly changing horizon. For each day to have a new and different sun. If you want to get more out of life, Ron, you must lose your inclination for monotonous security and adopt a helter-skelter style of life that will at first appear to you to be crazy. But once you become accustomed to such a life, you will see its full meaning and its incredible beauty. And you know from reading this book so far that Chris is always selling this theory to people, Ron especially, that the life that he's living is not the real life. And if you listen to this letter, you can't help but think of the speech that V gives to the people of London and Great Britain, in that he's kind of calling them out for getting comfortable in their security, and that this is not reality. This life that they're living is not reality. And the only way to experience that then is to be not afraid to let yourself kind of experience danger, to find that adventurous spirit in yourself, to find out who you are by putting yourself in situations that you're unaccustomed to. Think back also to V's imprisonment of Evie, and his whole theory that the only way for her to truly live without fear, to find this inner strength in herself, was to be in this very perilous situation. And Chris puts himself in those things time and time again, in those situations where his life's in danger. So you can see some correlation between Chris's character and V's character and their relationships with the people in their lives. So I want you to keep looking at that. You'll see this theme repeated in the chapters that you're supposed to read this week, chapters 13 through 15, especially in chapters 14 and 15, and once you read those, I think you'll kind of understand them more. And in those chapters, the author, John Krakauer, really injects himself into the story, and it's a very interesting kind of diversion off the path of this story. And we're going to come back next week and talk about why you think he put himself there, and if it works indeed in the middle of the book. But keep thinking of that idea over and over again, and it's the same idea that we had from V in Vendetta. is it the only way you can get past fear? To be put in situations where you experience fear? Is that the only way to do it? It seems to be the idea that Chris is selling, and it certainly was the idea that V was selling. So there's your correlation, at least one of them. I think there might be a few other floating around in there for you to find out as well. So enjoy your reading assignment this week, and we'll be back again next week to talk about chapters 13 through 15. All right.